say we've lost our way, but waiting patiently in everything is truth. How can we be the change? How can we start this change? Let's take a step back from the brink, look into each other's eyes, reach out for that central link and organize. Reaching the rays of hope, guiding the ways to go. The central link, the central link, the central link.
Please join us on the Central Link.
Hello, welcome to the Central Link. I'm Andrew Fake. What the Central Link hopes to do is to show you what your options are. We want to show you the larger picture, what you can do that would help the world, and then also the smaller picture, what you can do that would help yourself to be happier and healthier. And that's what today's episode is going to address. We're talking about alternative methods of transportation. We're talking about biking, hiking, walking, taking the bus. And today my guest is Joe Stafford of the Bicycle Access Council. And could you tell the public what the Bicycle Access Council is?
Sure. The Bicycle Access Council is a statewide advocacy organization, so we hope to make bicycling a transportation choice for Pennsylvanians.
Now I understand there's an event called Bike to York Week that's coming up.
That's correct. It is meant to highlight the general activity of bicycling and to attract people to think about bicycling to work. There are special events, a ride by Mayor Bracy from York Fairgrounds to the Sovereign Stadium will be one highlight. There's also going to be the opportunity to use Rapid Transit on their fixed route buses, free fares if you bring a bicycle. And just a reminder that the fixed route buses have bike racks out front that will accommodate 2 bicycles. And if 3 bicycles show up, it's discretion of the driver, but usually you can bring them on board inside. Every bike on the road is one less car.
I'm Richard Farr, the Executive Director of Rapid Transit, and today we're located here at our downtown transfer center, where it's the hub of our entire system where all the buses come together. And it's positioned nicely here in York that it happens to be right on the rail trail as well as the King Street bike lane. So it really works together to promote bicycles and transit. May 14th through the 19th is National Bike to Work Week. And in York County, we're going to celebrate Bike in York Week to really support and promote the usage of multimodal transportation, specifically for rapid transit, linking the bicycle to the bus. It's a very simple process. We ask individuals when they arrive to the bus stop with their bicycle, they simply get the driver's attention so the driver knows they're out here. Simply one hand, you squeeze and you can lower it down. It's very lightweight, very easy to use. You just bring your bicycle over, typically grab it just by the steering wheel and at the base of the seat. You place it in the slot. It really holds itself there. You simply reach down here and pull the arm over the top of the tire. Make sure it's in place and snug, and it's that simple. If this is becoming a major component of their transportation to work, what happens when they arrive and the bicycle rack is full? We simply tell them to check with the driver if there's availability for space on board, that we will allow them to board the bus with their bicycle and stow it in the back of the bus. Rapid Transit offers a Borrow a Bike program. This program allows individuals who use monthly passes or 11 ride passes to come to us to fill out a very simple application to track some basic demographic information. And as long as you use that monthly pass or 11 ride pass, we will lend you a bicycle, and it really helps individuals who have to extend their trip beyond the bus stop. At Rapid Transit, we have a sustainability plan, and we are working diligently at continuing to become more green and sustainable. For instance, this vehicle behind us is an 18-passenger vehicle. If we can help individuals transition from their automobile to transit. This bus alone can remove 18 cars off the road. That's pretty impressive when you consider that our region has one of the worst air quality in the nation for Class 3 cities. So that's something we work towards diligently. We currently operate on biofuels. All of our buses operate anywhere from B5 to B20. We are moving into the hybrid technology. We are the first transit system in the nation to operate a fleet of hybrid paratransit vehicles. We also ordered our first hybrid coaches, and we're looking at converting our entire fleet to CNG, compressed natural gas. It's good for the environment, and we certainly have an abundant amount of fuel here in Pennsylvania, so that would be a good step forward as well. September of 2010, we began to unveil our Smart Hop initiative. And Smart Hop is really using technology. Through numerous surveys with our customer, we realized that people are really confused about how transit works and how it all comes together. It's also a major barrier for new individuals trying to come into the system because no matter where you go, trying to use transit can be tricky. So with our Smart Hop initiative, the first thing that we launched is real-time passenger information. There are screens here at the transfer center that tell individuals what time the bus is going to be arriving and departing, so that helps them understand how that works. We also have a Google Transit initiative, much like using it to map your trip in an auto. You can go in and put your origin and destination and hit the transit icon, and it will give you all the availabilities of all the different routes and how they come together. We offer smartphone apps where it will track the bus in real time on a screen, and we also have a rider alert system where we can send individuals emails and text alerts when different routes are delayed, or if there are things that they need to be aware of so people are not stranded. An initiative Smart Hop is to remove the barriers and promote mobility and give access to the system so people find it more user-friendly.
There are a lot of benefits to bicycling in addition to cost savings. It's just one less thing that you need to worry about. That is your workout. So you can accomplish that, and you don't have to drive to the gym to do that.
Save on your gym membership.
There you go. There you go.
My name is Sean Hermans. I'm a health educator at the Susan P. Burns Health Education Center and a fitness trainer at the Athletic Club of York. Today, I want to talk to you about flexibility and the importance of stretching. When we engage in physical activity, our muscles are constantly contracting and relaxing to move our bodies around in space. Over time, our muscles will start to tighten up more and more if we don't stretch them and increase the range of motion in our joints. During physical activities such as walking, running, and biking, we are using large muscles in our legs to move us around. Here, I'm going to show you some basic static stretches that will increase the stretching ability of the muscles in our legs. The first stretch we're going to do is called a hanging hamstring stretch. You're going to spread your feet out, have your knees slightly bent, cross your arms just like this, and hang your upper body down towards the ground. This is stretching your lower back, your glutes, and your hamstrings located on the back of your legs. The next stretch we're going to do is a standing quad pull. Since most of our muscles work in opposition, we want to work the other side as well. You're going to use a wall for support, grab the top of your foot, stand up straight, and pull that leg back. You'll feel tension right on the top of your leg in your quadricep. The last stretch we're going to do here today is a standing calf stretch. You're going to find a wall for support, place both hands on the wall, take one foot back, place your heel down, push it down, and lean into the wall. Hold these stretches for about 15 to 30 seconds. And remember to breathe and relax while you are stretching for full benefit. So, use these stretches to increase your flexibility, and you're on your way to a healthier, happier you. Remember, be kind to your muscles, and they will be kind to you. I'll see you on the rail trail.
The health tip of the week or any advice on this program is for educational purposes only and is not intended as a replacement for qualified health care. Please consult your physician or healthcare provider before making any changes or starting new treatments.
You know, we've had a really mild winter and we're experiencing a really early spring, and we just have no excuse for not getting outside. And I think it's so important that we encourage our children to spend time outside. Our children need to be very physically active in order to develop properly. Even their minds develop as a result of physical activity. So maybe it's a good idea to limit the time on the computer and even on the television and encourage our children to get outside and be creative. Instead of always giving them toys, encourage creativity. I think this is a healthy thing our society needs to see more of. I'm Willa from Sunnywald Natural Foods with the health tip of the week. Sunnywald Natural Foods. Good health comes from the farm, not the pharmacy.
My name is Gwen Luce, and I am Executive Director of the York County Rail Trail Authority. The Heritage Rail Trail begins at the Mason-Dixon line, just about 1 mile south of where we are right now, and it continues for a little over 21 miles into the city of York. So you can have a great visualization of how troop movements occurred during the Civil War, during the Battle of Gettysburg, and how President Lincoln actually traveled to Gettysburg, coming up the Northern Central to go to Gettysburg to give his famous address. Our construction here in New Freedom began in 1990 when the York County Rail Trail was formed, and that was completed into York City in August of 1999. The one thing that really got the project started was local contributions, local donations. Some of those were in the neighborhood of $5, $10, $15 from county residents who saw the value of this project. So it was really through the generosity of local folks, of local people here in York County, that got the whole project started and allowed us to leverage those dollars to complete this project. And if you look at the combination of all of the hard goods and soft goods that are spent on the Heritage Rail Trail in the year 2007, it was estimated that combined they generate about $6 million of income to the businesses along the Heritage Rail Trail and across the county. Currently, the York County Rail Trail Authority is working on some extensions for the Heritage Rail Trail, beginning up at John Rudy County Park in East Manchester Township and working our way into York City to make the connection with the existing Heritage Rail Trail. It will probably be another 3 to 4 years, hopefully sooner, and that is based on the funds that are available to us.
I'm Deb Watson. I'm an artist from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I paint small-town America in watercolor and oils. This is a traditional watercolor of the backyard wildlife. This is my typical small-town America scene. It's East Petersburg, Pennsylvania. I love getting all the tiny detail. This is a watercolor of a flower. I teach a lot and students love to paint flowers. And this is a figurative piece that just came back from a national juried show. I'm also the president of the Pennsylvania Watercolor Society. All the work here is for sale, and the Pennsylvania Watercolor Society is always open to new members. I'd advise anybody to give watercolor a try. It's come a long way.
What are the incentives for people during Bike to York Week?
Well, there's actually an incentive that most folks aren't aware of, and it's totally voluntary by employers. But back in 2008, a tax fringe benefit was created, and employers can offer up to $20 a month to employees if they bike regularly to work. Now, the IRS doesn't define regularly, so that's between the employer and the employee. But it's a very simple tax-free fringe benefit that folks can take advantage of. And they should look into it, see if their employer is willing to offer that, and it's a benefit to the employer as well.
Hi, my name is Ed Hughes. I'm the owner of the Whistle Stop Bike Shop in New Freedom, Pennsylvania. We have the advantage of being located conveniently on a rail trail. I've been in business at this location since 1993. Worked out pretty well. You know, I'm still here. I haven't starved to death yet. It really, you know, when you're picking a bike out, you know, where you want to ride and the type of riding that you want to do is what kind of dictates what you should be looking at. This is a road bike, and this is kind of like bikes have been forever. You know, it's a more bent over position, riding position. It's designed to have have very low rolling resistance and be easy pedaling, and primarily used for on the road. This bike is what they call a freestyle bike. It has pegs that they can stand on the front and the back. It has brakes on the front and back to do tricks with. It's the way the steering's designed. You can turn these the wheel all the way around without tangling the brake cables up. The dirt jumping bikes are like this one. It's designed to be a little bit lighter weight and not made to do the tricks. This is more for jumping. Bikes are built with the frames very strong. Got a tandem bike. This bike is designed for kind of rail trails or off-road riding for two people. This one is kind of specialized. This is what they call a cyclocross bike. And they actually compete on this. They'll get to places where they can't ride anymore, and they actually pick the bike up and run with it. So as much of the race is done on foot carrying your bike as on the bike carrying you. This one's a hybrid. Shock absorber seat post, shock absorbers here, a more upright handlebar. You can ride this equally on the road or on the rail trail. Because of the narrow tire, it leans a little bit more toward road than it does to trail. Serious mountain bike, knobby tires, lower handlebars, so you're leaned over more, put more weight on the front wheels. This one has shock absorbers front and back. They call that a 29er. What happens with a 29er is the larger diameter wheel has a tendency to be able to roll over rocks and logs much more easily than a 26-inch wheel. So in the hardcore mountain bike community, the 29ers have become very popular. That's probably one of the newest things that we have. It's a road bike, but no gears. Messenger riders ride single speed bikes. They don't need a bike that's got a lot of gears. They're going point A to point B on flat level ground, and you know, size for size, you know, a medium men's bike and a medium women's bike fit exactly the same. This is the only difference here. Around the turn of the century, you know, women wore dresses. So it was not ladylike to throw your leg up over the seat. In fact, a lot of women just ride regular men's bikes with the bar like this. My big suggestion is go to a reputable bike store, get them to give you a little bit of instruction and encouragement and show you how to do things properly. It's one of the cheapest hobbies that there is. It's a good form of exercise. It's something that the family can do together, the whole family. And I can't say more than that about bicycling.
I'd like to talk to you today about irrigation. Irrigation is probably one of the most important things that a home gardener does. Whether it's flowers or vegetables, the right amount of water makes all the difference to the plants. Every year we seem to go through an extended period of hot and dry weather. May not be that way the whole way through the summer, but every year there's a period. For plants to do well, they need the equivalent of about 1 inch of rain a week. So if we aren't getting that naturally, you should supplement it. Remember, when it rains an inch of rain on an acre, that's 28,000 gallons of water. So if you have a garden area of say 100 square feet, 10 by 10, that's 65 gallons of water that you need to put on that garden every week, on that 100 square feet. Blossom end rot, that's when the bottom of the tomato rots. That is a calcium deficiency, but it's not caused by a lack of calcium, it's caused by not watering deep enough. The best way to water is to do it with some type of drip irrigation. Some way, a soaker hose or some way of putting it on slowly over a longer period of time. Let the water soak deep. This is a mat that you can use for several years. It's not a one and done thing. And it has drip irrigation built into it. That's the irrigation line itself. Very simple. You hook up to the other end with a garden hose, turn it on, it's all pressure regulated. It's very simple. I would much rather see a home gardener water their plot very thoroughly once a week than water it every night. My name's Dave Miller from Miller Plant Farm, and thanks for joining us for your garden tip of the week.
I'm Jess with Racehorse Productions. Do you need a high-quality professional video for your business, product, service, event, or something else? We at Racehorse Productions have a motto: if you can dream it, we can film it. For all your video needs, give us a call. We would love to work with your idea or help create one for you. Thank you, and remember, if you can dream it, we can film it.
I understand that there's some new bike laws out there, and they've been making some headlines. There's sort of a controversy around them, and I guess it's kind of a double-edged sword. Do you want to try to clear the fog for me?
Well, you know, we have limited time to talk about the details, but essentially it is an amendment to the Pennsylvania Vehicle Code. It allows bicyclists to use the full lane when it's unsafe to keep to the right. There's also the element of safe passing distance, which is now 4 feet. And in order to achieve that 4 feet, if the lane is too narrow to share, a motor vehicle may now cross the center line in a no passing zone. So that's a key element that has gotten a lot of highlight. There's also a specific statute that addresses what we call a right hook, where a cyclist is going straight and a motor vehicle tends to cut them off. So that's urging motorists to judge their speed. And the last element really addresses bicyclists maintaining the prevailing speed. We know we can't do that, so it's now defined as an exemption to maintaining prevailing speed, and as long as the bicyclist is not intentionally trying to impede traffic. So those are important things in the amendment of the Vehicle Code. It was actually called Act 3 of 2012. So I applaud the city for going forward with that. You know, we've had this easy winter, and I believe people are going to be dusting off whatever bikes they have and trying to make use of it. Gas prices are, you know, $4 a gallon, so there's one more incentive to ride that bicycle.
Well, Joe, thanks for being on the show. Appreciate that very much. Hi, I'm Andrew Fake. I bike and jog more than you want to know. I'm going to give you some tips and advice, things that I've learned on my journey. Hopefully it'll save you some time and a lot of frustration. And if you're just getting started, maybe it'll help ease some anxiety and intimidation for getting into it. First thing you want to do is wear bright colors for safety. You don't want to stock up on junk food now, it'll just be sloshing around inside of you. Make sure you eat healthy, like some fresh fruit, maybe a green drink, or you can make your own. And stay hydrated. Make sure you know your route, plan it out. What's the weather like? What about the terrain? Are there any hills or blind corners? What about a bathroom? Is there a place where you can change clothes? If you're walking or running, you'll probably want to carry a pack of some kind. Pick something with comfortable shoulder straps. And don't pack it too heavy. Keep it nice and light with just some snacks and some water. And here's a helpful tip that I learned. You can always take a handkerchief and tie it around the shoulder straps. This will help to keep it from chafing on your shoulders, and it looks cool. For footwear, you want to wear something comfortable, maybe some old sneakers or something with a flexible sole. If you're going to be wearing some new shoes, take them for a test run before you commit to any long distances. Now, this is something that you don't need for walking or running, but for biking, you always want to make sure that you're wearing a helmet. Even if you're out on the rail trail, you still want to set a good example for the children. It's always good to have a pair of sunglasses with you. You want to find a pair where you can see clearly out of your sides. It also makes a nice windshield with all the bugs out there. There's a lot of bugs. If you're uncomfortable on your bike, don't get discouraged. The #1 complaint for new cyclists is the bike seat. Now there's all kinds of options out there. Make sure you pick the one that's right for you. Another common cause of discomfort is improper adjustment of the seat height. What you want is for your toes and only your toes to touch when you're sitting on your seat. This will also help to save your knees from a lot of strain and pain. Now on a rainy day, Some bicyclers will let a little bit of air out of their tires so it can grip the road better. But otherwise, you want to make sure that your tire is properly inflated and it's not squishy in the least bit. This will help to reduce friction with the road and give you a smoother ride. If you get a flat tire, check around for a safe spot where you can pull over and get help. Turn your bike upside down to signal that it is in need of repair, or start the repair yourself. Some of the tools that I carry with me are pliers, an adjustable wrench, some Allen wrenches, bike lock just in case, some money because you never know, got my headlamp in case I have to ride at night. Always keep a pump with me, a small hand pump, and patch kit. If I ever get a flat tire, then I got the repair kit right here. And if I need to ride the bus, then I always carry Rabbit Transit hop and go guide with me. Now you might have an old bike that's been in the garage for a while because you haven't ridden it. It might be covered in a lot of dust and rust. Make sure that you give it some tender loving care. Clean it and lubricate it. Brake lines, rear and front derailleur, your shifting cables, all the moving parts. If it moves, you want to get it nice and oily. Move the links up and down, back and forth. Give them a massage to really work in the oil. Make sure that your brakes are touching your metal rim and not the rubber of your tire. Just like any machine, you want it to run as silently as possible. If you hear any noises, it's probably a sign that something is wrong. Running and biking are fun and healthy. And on a day like this, who wants to be inside? Get out and ride!
The Central Link aims to support itself through sponsors and advertising, as well as individual donations from viewers like you. You can advertise your business or easily make a donation with PayPal on our website. Help us keep the show on the air. Your contributions will directly support our staff.